Hello, everybody. We're really happy to have so many members of our Maple Bear family join us today. Stuart and I are here to offer you some ideas and obviously some empathy and some support as you work with your children at home in this COVID-19 crisis.
Pandemic parenting. What a challenge. There are so many new realities and new expectations placed on you as your children are at home instead of at their lovely Maple Bear school. You probably miss the school as much as your children do. You chose Maple Bear because you want your children to become bilingual and you believe in the immersion methodology that we use. No doubt you already saw amazing progress in the few short weeks before the school year was interrupted. Your toddlers are able to follow instructions in English. Your elementary children are conversing beautifully in English, and your children could enjoy stories being told in English.
Now what? No more immersion environment. You're probably worried that all that excellent learning will be lost, especially if you yourself do not speak English. We are here to reassure you that you can be very helpful in your child's language and literacy development, whether you speak English or not.
Our first key message is this: reading aloud in either or both languages is highly beneficial. Maple Bear believes in the importance of raising a reader. Reading aloud to children has been shown to improve literacy skills, thinking skills, and academic aptitude. It also inspires a lifelong love of reading.
Every time you pull a child onto your lap to read, you are contributing to the hardwiring of your child's brain. You're sending a message to their nervous system that everything's okay. There's no need to worry. You're altering their brain patterns and you're reducing their heart rate. And you thought you were just reading a book.
And here's another amazing fact. Science tells us that young children learning 2 languages is not only possible, but optimum. Research shows us that learning 2 or more languages from a young age does several important things. It stimulates the brain. It activates growth in child's brains, helps them be more creative, and helps them solve problems more easily. It strengthens their mental muscles and improves memory and the ability to concentrate.
It also enhances English literacy skills. And developing literacy in their home language alongside English helps children learn how languages work and leads them to become better readers, listeners, and communicators in both languages.
It also strengthens cultural identity. When you read to your child in your native language, you are strengthening your child's sense of cultural identity and building family connections.
Even in this new digital world, reading in any language and all languages is the key to success. So please continue to read to your child as often as possible in either language, both if possible. And we're going to share some tips later.
Okay, our second key message is this. There are many ways you can help maintain your child's English language growth, whether you speak English or not. Let's start with a strong warning, though. It might be tempting to search the internet for English worksheets or grammar lessons. Don't do it. We know that children of all ages learn by doing and that play accelerates the learning process. Out of context, worksheets do not provide the engagement that motivates children. They are also impossible for non-readers. Unmotivated or frustrated children will resist, and turning your home into a battleground is unpleasant and counterproductive.
Better English, especially for non-readers, comes from speaking and hearing English. This means that children need to watch, listen, and imitate English. They need to practice. Frequent experiences in oral English are what your children need, and there are ways to provide these, even if you don't speak English. You do not need to be bilingual, although becoming more bilingual may be a nice side effect of this pandemic's stay-at-home restrictions. We have some ideas for you here too.
Let's begin with this important tip. Enjoy learning with your child. because learning is supposed to be satisfying, engaging, and fun. Create the conditions for learning, a routine, a space, resources, and of course, a positive outlook. Be encouraging and supportive. Remember that your child is dealing with a strange new reality and may be emotional. If he is whiny or cranky or uncooperative, avoid power struggles. Distract or offer options like a movement break or a bit of screen time. Do the best you can. Remember that stress is unhealthy for you and stress is unhealthy for your child. Find time for learning when you can by following a routine, but be flexible when that routine is not working for you.
Reading with your child is the best way to raise a reader. Because you're Maple Bear parents, you already know that reading with your child is your daily homework assignment. This remains the case. You're used to finding English and Portuguese children's storybooks tucked into your child's backpack. But now that school is closed, the question is, where do I get books? Especially English books. You may have a RazKids subscription. That's a good start.
There are also other excellent sources. Uniteforliteracy.com is very good and has over 400 ebooks for preschool children and for elementary age children. And it has clear English narration. The bonus here is that it also has Portuguese narration. And so parents can share the books and enjoy them both in English and in Portuguese. And if you have more than those languages, they are provided as well.
Another one of my personal favorites is Storyline Online. This site streams videos featuring celebrated actors reading children's books, really good children's books, alongside creatively produced illustrations from the book. Readers include Oprah Winfrey, Daniel Radcliffe, and dozens more actors that I'm sure you're going to recognize.
It's wonderful to read aloud in English or in Portuguese or in both if you can. Reading together in either or both languages should happen as regularly and as frequently as you can manage. When your child is getting bored or fretting about missing normal activities, offer them a book. You can use it as a welcome break from your own work as well. Find a comfortable spot, cuddle up, and enjoy a short and sweet reading experience.
Good news. Even young children may be able to follow up this shared reading with a bit of independent reading. Have a supply of their favorite books in a basket, a special reading tent, or a nook with a pile of pillows set up, and encourage your child to read. Even the youngest children love to flip through books and pretend to read the story. If you have a cooperative pet, ask your youngster to read to the dog or the cat.
A bedtime story is highly recommended as part of your evening routine. It should be a warm and calming way to settle your child into an evening's sleep. Soft music can also be an excellent soundtrack.
I hear you crying. How can I do a good job of reading out loud? Here are some strategies that Maple Bear teachers use. Read with expression. That's really important. Your enthusiasm and enjoyment are infectious, and you're modeling a positive attitude to reading. Use different voices for the dialogue. Don't be afraid to be silly. Use volume for effect. For example, a loud voice for big, bold, exclaiming words. Use facial expressions and gestures. Be dramatic.
And involve your child. Often ask your child to choose the books for read alouds and for bedtime stories. And repeating favorites is great, so just go with the flow. Let your child turn the pages. Invite your child to do the actions or do sound effects or do funny lines with you.
Do interactive reading, also known as dialogic reading. And this is the kind of reading that Maple Bear teachers use. It's the most effective way to improve your child's literacy and is important in any language. It's much better than simply reading while your child listens passively. Some things you can do to read dialogically. Ask what questions. What do you think this story is about? What is that dragon doing?
And of course, ask open-ended questions. Is that what you thought was going to happen? Why did the cat do that?
Expand upon what your child says. Yes, that is a big dog. In fact, it's a huge dog. Do you think you could walk that dog?
And with older children, you can switch up the roles. Ask your child to read out loud as you become the good listener and ask good questions.
Always celebrate the joy of reading. You might notice some wonderful reading milestones as you're at home with your child. Get your camera out to record and share. Your child might surprise you, as our children did, by memorizing the words of their favorite stories and starting to read a favorite book to you. Your child might read the pictures and tell you his own creative version of the story. These are wonderful pre-reading strategies and behaviors that you should encourage. Don't try to correct them.
And try not to worry. Even if you speak only Portuguese, there are also ways to support English language skills. Remember that you can be very helpful in your child's language and literacy development, whether or not you speak English. The first line of support is Maple Bear. The Maple Bear digital learning community offers a wealth of worthwhile resources and suggestions for all ages. The most direct and personal resource is your child's Maple Bear school. The best piece of advice is to ensure your child connects with his or her virtual Maple Bear classes. Your child's wonderful Maple Bear teachers will provide a regular dose of English and can also suggest wonderful activities and materials that you can use at home.
If you're parenting an early years child, you will need to attend class with your child, as your youngster will need support with the technology and with attentiveness and participation. So you might as well just enjoy it and join the fun. Learn those silly songs and the chants and use them at home whenever you can, especially the clean up, everybody do your share.
Afterwards, use the vocabulary of colors, numbers, and shapes in playing with your child. There is no need to speak fluent English. Just pop in some English words you've picked up, or ask your child to help you.
Sing the fun songs your child already knows and do the actions together.
Ask simple questions. What color? What shape? How many cookies did you eat?
Play guessing games with the secret item being something the child can recognize and name in English.
If your child is in elementary or middle years, at least listen to the virtual lessons from close by so that you get the essentials of the lesson and some of the key vocabulary and instructions. Your child will be doing some work tasks and may need your support.
Build on the lessons if you're feeling particularly ambitious. For example, if the teacher has been reviewing some high frequency words in English, maybe you'd like to play a card game with matching up the words, or I Spy. Your children will probably love having a little chance to do some whiteboard printing or making words out of Play-Doh or using alphabet magnets to practice spelling their high frequency words. Just one more warning. Don't try to be the taskmaster and force things when they are not willing. And don't do the assigned tasks for your child. Just be supportive and encouraging. Consult the teacher if your child is confused or struggling or resisting.
There are many, many accessible activities that will help your child practice English and help the parents maintain their sanity. Here are some suggestions. Arrange online play dates with their Maple Bear classmates and make sure that they have an English-only zone challenge.
Go to the internet and collect some fun conversation starters. Look up would you rather questions and have your child choose one from a hat. Would you rather become completely bald or grow lettuce on your head? Or would you rather go without your phone or your dessert for a month?
Have the kids play a board game and take turns virtually.
Tell them they can play video games, but only in English.
Offer YouTube karaoke for kids. Kids can sing English songs and practice their reading as well.
Give yourself some downtime. Offer suggestions for fun challenges that can be done independently. The Maple Bear platform has a wealth of resources Check it out. Here are some suggestions we have.
Have children find their favorite English lyrics from songs online and then practice reading or singing them along with the artist.
There are so many great dance tutorials or workout videos that your child might enjoy playing along with.
And there's also online sports tutorials, and that could be in karate or practicing your football skills.
A wonderful challenge is to produce a family video in English for your Instagram or Facebook feed. And if you don't speak English, that's a great opportunity for your child to teach you a short sentence in English for your dialogue.
If you have an older child who has a sport or an art or a hobby that they are very interested in, encourage them to create a how-to video or a PowerPoint or a cartoon with captions and dialogue.
There's so many wonderful virtual tours available now, zoos, museums, art galleries, and lots of tourist sites. So maybe your child would be thrilled to plan your next family vacation itinerary.
Music is a great way to provide fun English practice for kids of all ages. The Maple Bear program uses songs and rhymes extensively because this is an effective way to learn vocabulary, rhythm, rhyme, expressions. Songs are easily obtainable. Your young child probably already has favorites from class, and older children can bring cool suggestions and cool songs that they've learned from videos and movies. One great source for kids of all ages, YouTube.
Yes, YouTube for early years children has all their favorite songs as well as nursery rhymes, and they're very easy to find and they're lovely.
For elementary children, check out Kids Bop Kids, which has cool current songs and dance-alongs, and the wonderful Go Noodle for songs, dance, and active learning.
Do you know this trick? Many of the songs, rhymes, cartoons online can be subtitled so that the English words show on the screen. As well, many can be subtitled in your home language. You click closed captioning, the capital C, click settings, click subtitles, and then click auto translate and choose your language. It's magic.
Elementary and middle years songs can be found on the intranet as well and can be copied onto a Word document. In Word, go to the review menu, choose read aloud, and a voice will instantly read the lyrics in correct English.
Karaoke, as we've mentioned, can be a great family activity. And if you alternate between English songs and Portuguese songs, your children will get reading practice in both languages.
If you do speak English, try to take advantage of conversation opportunities. Check in regularly. How are they feeling? Make the meal plan or create the grocery shopping list together. Make a photo story together and share it with family and friends. Look at family photos together and share stories or memories.
We always say this, play with your children. Talk through imaginative play with the little ones. Play counting games, sing songs with actions, play games in English, and ask your child to explain the rules to you.
Do chores with your children's help. Talk through recipes and cooking procedures. Sort toys into boxes, talking through each step as you work together. Talk about clothes choices as your children are getting dressed in the morning, or discuss instructions for washing your hands thoroughly.
Okay, let's sum up. Children learn languages by listening to them and using them. Experience is the catalyst. That is why English immersion is so successful in Maple Bear schools. That's what we do. Repeated exposure to language through reading and listening and talking develops brain connections, and those support literacy growth. How to achieve that repeated exposure at home, that's your challenge. But there's no need to despair. The best things you can do at home to maintain your child's language development, you already know how to do.
Chat with your child in your native language, and if you can, in English.
Read to your child and read with your child in your native language, and if you can, in English.
Use technology to provide English language experiences.
Maintain your child's regular contact with the Maple Bear teacher for interactive English sessions and some joy.
You cannot replicate the Maple Bear classroom, nor can you be expected to know all of the clever pedagogical strategies that Maple Bear teachers use. What you do have is love for your child, confidence and pride in your child's potential, and a desire to fill the learning gap until your child can get back to school.
Remember, you are your child's first, forever, and most important educator. With your commitment and support and endless patience, your child will continue to grow in abilities in both languages. Thanks for coming, everybody.